Yo, what's going on, y'all? All right, man, you know what it is. Spirit, light, body, man, wholeness, y'all. I am forward. What is good, y'all? Okay, man, we're on the cosmic spiral, okay? Understand, right now in July, the Kundalini is the highest generally that it gets in the year. And if you're tapped in, tuning your body to the cosmos, getting the natural minerals, you see what I'm saying, from the earth, getting that inside of your body and in your essence, you should be able to feel the flow of the energy within, right? And so here's the thing, like we always talk about, like instead of trying to change everything outside of you, the real magic happens inside. So for myself, I figured that okay, when I'm tuning my body to the cosmos as best as I can, I'm not saying I got everything mastered and all perfect, but every single day. You know what I'm saying? It's like when you hear a lot in the conscious community, they talk about timelines and stuff, right? Okay, all right, jumping timelines. Okay, so every time you jump timelines, so to speak, what they're saying is you just making a different choice. And every time you make a different choice, instead of doing X today, I'm going to do this. And every time we make a different choice, you see what I'm saying? Like, yo, that's so-called putting us on a different timeline. So throughout time, you see what I'm saying? Like, which Dan Winter would tell you is nothing but the relative spin rate of the ether. You see what I'm saying? As charge rotates, you see what I'm saying? It creates mass. So as the ethereal energy moves through, you see things change. That's why you see spring, summer, all these different things coming in. So in July right now, I'm feeling a lot of energy. The dreams is really potent, seeing different energies. And so this morning I went into the meditation and I can feel the counter rotating energies, right? The Taurus. I feel it spinning. I got my cosmic clock on, holding this to my brother, Seven Beaumont. My cosmic clock on. I'm sitting in the meditation. I'm going in with intentions and I'm repeating my affirmations and I'm feeling it. And it's like Dan Winter says, if the principle isn't pure, like what I was meditating on, if it wasn't pure principle, there's like ego, some hidden agenda, you get dizzy. And I felt that as I was rotating. I'm like, cool, just stay centered and stay focused on my purpose, of why I come into this session. Because when you go into the astral plane, it's good to have an intention set. And that intention sets, it's kind of like when you go on a journey, you know what I'm saying? You may pop a couple caps or something, and I'm talking about mushroom caps, like whatever you do, you know what I'm saying? And you're on this journey, right? And you have an intention. You'll notice that when you stay focused on that intent, you can, get the mission done. So that's with anything in life. You have to learn to stay focused. You see what I'm saying? And when you can develop that focus, like one thing I've been getting my children to do and getting them to play with me is this old game. Some of y'all might remember from back in the 90s called Memory. See what I'm saying? And that game Memory actually helps you build your memory up. And it's funny how that works. Like, I can see it all the way around, like through the meditation, staying more coherent. It helps with that. Remembering the dreams, it helps with that, and they've been telling me things about, what's happening in their own personal spheres as well. So, it's pretty interesting to see that or whatever, like, man, you'll be surprised that one thing you do, that little ripple it creates, and you never know what kind of large wave it can make. Now, that can be for better or for worse, which is why it's always advised by the adepts, you need to be conscious. Every thought moving through here, because this is energy. Like they show you on the cartoon, that little light bulb come up, and y'all know I like light bulbs, and y'all know I like electricity. Speaking of, I'm gonna jump on this joint again. Like, see, guys, I ain't been making a lot of content because right now my phone's getting ready to cut. I don't have a lot of memory on my phone or whatever, so you ain't been seeing a whole lot from me. But no, I'm always studying, I'm always expanding. I told y'all on that post, get this book, The Holy Science. If you still like conflicting, not understanding, like, that all these little symbols right here, you see that cross, that arm, and that triquetra, you see what I'm saying? These are all the same stories, all the same traditions. And anytime it was telling the truth, it was always pointing you within. It didn't have to be without, because you got to think about it. Something that's almighty and powerful that create this whole cosmos, and understanding who and what you are, that you are a cosmos, you would be crazy to think that it's telling you to call on one man man outside of you, and it created man, woman, and all that is, it wouldn't even make sense to funnel all that energy into one thing. So don't get got by these guys talking that junk. They don't know what they're talking about, man. Wholeness.